Hello and welcome, Snake here. Today I want to talk about how much of an impact had the Tides of Torment DLC to Total War Warhammer 3. So I'm going to look into all those three races and how much of an improvement we got thanks to DLC and evaluate if the DLC was worth it. Some DLCs like Shadow of Change, yeah, that's gonna be a nasty stain forever, which eventually CA did improve overall and made it much more valuable, but it took quite a long time. So they built a standard, and based on this standard, they were carrying on with the DLCs, the big ones. Now we're gonna have the small ones, the little ones that gonna include just a little bit, but I still think it's actually valuable because this will overall improve the campaign and game rather than having nothing. Of course, if there is one if they will increase the map size, if the map will remain the same, it's a little bit too crowded already in some places. I would definitely prefer to have larger map that each of a legendary faction got like a province-ish for themselves, and there is enough space between the other legendary lords, but let's face it, that's impossible. So yeah, let's see each faction and let's see if it was right or wrong. And if you like it, absolutely leave a like. You can help me subscribing. And I hope you agree with me on some things. And if you don't, then just go ahead and tell me what I did wrong. So, yeah, let's go. So let me start with Slaanesh. So as you know, Nakari was a little bit reworked with the Tides of Torment. And in my eyes, Nakari is still behind compared to two other legendary lords, the Kala and the Mask. The Mask was an FLC, but I count it as a Tides of Torment package because it was released alongside. It was pretty much Tides of Torment content. And I tried Nakari. I did some, it was fine. Then I played the Kala, and I thought, oh my god, the Kala is insane. She is so strong, I can just level down entire armies with her. And then I played a Mask, and my perspective about it absolutely changed. So without a doubt, the best and like the most comfortable faction to play is the Accursed, which is the Mask faction, because it offers you the dances. And each dance, there's like 4 dances, and each of the dances have things you can choose. The variety is quite big. You have 4 dances, and each step in those dances have 4 options. Hell, the amount of flexiness here and how much you can adjust it to your gameplay is insane. It's really valuable because whatever the playstyle you have, there is probably a step that will be, mold for you. And Nakari, that I called pretty much the lost cause a little bit. I mean, no, it's not lost cause. But Nakari became much more powerful as a general of an army. Of course, the faction of Nakari faction, the seduction and everything, it's great. But here, as a general, Nakari gained a little bit more because the dances made everything different. Like, holy hell. So I do have, like, I have an army full of these, and I can adjust how I want to. Invulnerable? Sure. Heal? Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna pick heal. And then I have the final dance. And this army is really freaking strong. As the Kala, I feel the Kala lost some power-ish, but as her own, but gain power as a general. So I think from 3, Slaanesh faction, the Accursed Traffic, the Mask faction is gonna be the easiest and most flexible, which should be suggest to as a first faction to play as a new player with Slaanesh roster. It should be absolutely picked as the first one because it does give you easy start. I mean, easy start, maybe not, but definitely easier campaign. With Nakari, you do struggle because you start in Ulf 1 and Nakari is squishy as hell. So the difficulty is definitely up there. While the Kala is, insane legendary lord. So the Kala would be also somewhere behind the Mask. But Nakari, the level needed to play well and deal with early stages of a threat, which is loads of missile units and stuff. Absolutely. I know a lot of people just, hit the wall with Nakari and gave up on Slaanesh. I didn't like Slaanesh because of bullshit that I had to, come with the entire Ulf one with just Nakari that has 15 armor. 15 armor. So there was no region, nothing. Yeah, 40 with some items, right? Nakari's Slaanesh in general is really powerful, but very squishy. And that's the problem. But in terms of value, oh god, there is so much value here, absolutely. From Slaanesh being just shit faction because it felt incomplete, it became so powerful. I even consider it stronger than Khorne. Seriously. I consider it stronger than Khorne because the fast pacing combat, vassalization of everyone, just building a minions, army. Because I have so many vassals, it's ridiculous because I subjugated them all. Yeah, my reliability is crap because, when you have so many vassals and you want to have so many vassals, you do some mistakes. And I didn't even care because I'm fighting everyone basically. And that's the point. I wanted to have this situation to fight everyone. And then I subjugate everyone except Kairos. I gave him a lot of stuff, so I'm expecting him to break vassalization eventually. Because, yeah, he hates me. And that's the problem with vassals. If you have vassals that doesn't like other vassals, it just ruins everything. But, frankly saying, power creep here is massive. The improvements and evolution of subjugation and having tricks to your disposal. It's interesting for campaign. It's very interesting for combat, for battles. Both aspects got absolutely improved, and I feel Slaanesh is the biggest winner of this DLC. The next up we have a High Elves. And High Elves, in my eyes, were a faction that didn't need another lord. Absolutely, I was like very disappointed when it was actually Aislinn as a legendary lord. I wanted to be Vampire Count, Vampire Coast, anything but the High Elves. But with the DLC, we get some stuff like Patrons of Realms that lets you easier confederate. When you play Aislinn, I actually advise not to confederate any legendary lord, because it's pointless in my eyes. It's better to have the legendary lords as an allies, but that's my opinion. And if you have that many, that big of a bond with the other legendary lords from High Elves, you can build an awesome alliance that will obliterate everything, especially that you give them a settlement when you play Aislinn, right? But the Patrons of Realms is good for everyone. It's good. It's good. What else? Tyrion got update. Yeah, he needed something. I feel like Alariel needs something. I feel like every I feel like Ivres needs the final battle to have it from Warhammer 2. I would love to Vortex. Seriously, I would love Vortex, Realms of Chaos, and everything. The map be that big. Like the Vortex Ulf one, I want it to be for this. Imagine if the Ulf one from Vortex and Lustra would be like in that campaign from Warhammer 2. That's my dream. That's the dream size of a campaign map. Everything scaled to Vortex, to Realms of Chaos. So we have so much space. But of course, that's never gonna happen unless when the support ends, there will be a mod that will do it. And if will be a mod like this will be the best mod for this game. Because what we need is a space. Right, back to the subject. Since High Elves got some mechanics, but some of them are really outdated or just hit or miss, like the Alifinar hunts or contracts, however you call it. Yeah, I feel like the assassination, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. What about Aislinn himself? Aislinn himself brings some mechanic. It's fun mechanic. He brings a new way of playing High Elves that you don't have to confederate, you don't have to expand, build everywhere. No, you give the settlement. You need to be precise with your buildings because there is a limit, and I like it. I really like it because I do not have to worry about so many settlements. It is frustrating in this game that once you get to the part that half of a map is explored, you own so many buildings, settlements, and you do need to care because when like endgame crisis hits, you're screwed. So it is frustrating nonetheless. And Aislinn changed that greatly. It also introduced different way of playing multiple of currencies. And the currency is needed to another currency, to another currency. So there is multiple currencies. Aislinn got 4 currencies. 5 if you include the Phoenix, favor of the Phoenix King. So you have 5 of them. Plus if you count the ship number and stuff like that. But what also came with the Aislinn is uniqueness of the lords. because the admirals bring a very nice and unique abilities. Like, hell, you can have freaking bolt throwers. What is it? Oh wait, that's not. You can have bolt throwers with infinity ammo, basically. So, out of nowhere, you know, the Skycutter have endless ammo, and you can make a unique army of it. The peak is, of course, the Loffen Sea Guard, but they also added a big, grounded sea creatures.
Hero of the Asser.
Yeah, the elementals, oceanites, however you call it. Where is the other one? Merworm. Yeah, so you have big creatures that you can have fun with. Which is awesome, because High Elves only had phoenixes and dragons. That's it. They didn't have anything on the ground. That was frustrating. And now they have also monstrous infantry, which was pretty much non-existing for a High Elf roster. So yeah, great. What they also got? A cheap infantry, reliable infantry, if you play Aislinn. Because Aislinn is, with his tech tree, improving some of the, so much for the ship's company upgrades that is actually tempting to make an army of them and see how they perform with all the buffs. I still think not really, but it's an idea for very cheap and cost-effective army that will slap things hard. It will take time to unfortunately research all the things. Of course, alongside all the updates came the tech tree that is improved. I like it. It's less annoying that you need to build stuff. And yeah, positives.
Dare not threaten Ulthuan.
The patrons of the realms is positive as well. However, I don't like it. But it's easier to... I don't like it in terms of... you know, maintaining things to confederate, because there is an RNG aspect. Like, you need 3 of the patrons to have a confederation with Nagaryth, right? But it's doable. It's doable. It's not bad. You have bonuses that are working. You can make some of the armies just surprisingly better. Yeah. It improves the variety of armies you can get. And in my eyes, that absolutely is a win. I feel like High Elves got the least of, you know, greatness in this DLC. But they needed the least. They needed the least. And they got improvements here and there when it was needed. Because now we have much more variety for army constructions, improvements, buffs, temporary buffs, or some kind of tweaks mid-maxing that you can do if you have those patrons here, right? And new talents, new things to play the game. And that's absolutely great, because High Elves were, for me, faction that was really stale. They all played the same. And unfortunately, most of them are still like that, but that's because of the mechanics. But when it comes to army constructions, now there is much more variety over this. Oh, I'm gonna build Archer stack, Sisters of Avalon stack, and Phoenix stack. I think that was it in terms of the general idea on the armies. And now we can have much more armies, and there is all some tweaking with the patrons because you get some stuff here, and it does make campaigns and just playing High Elves much more enjoyable in my eyes. So yeah, thumbs up. They didn't get that much as others, but definitely they got it where it was needed. And now the faction that needed literally a blessing from the sky. We really need anything for Norsca. Anything. And we got a lot, okay? The whole rework of an entire faction was needed and it's great. I love it. However, it made like Trog campaign one-dimensional. I mean, it was always one dimension. If you didn't play with ice trolls, you were doing it wrong. And now, games pretty much accepted that. And the whole mechanic is about trolls. You get different variety of trolls, but it's trolling you greatly. Of course, you can build other armies, but it's inefficient. It's just inefficient because, hey, you get upkeep reduction if you play trolls. You get buffs for trolls. You do stuff. You get like Trollkind if if you get trolls. I mean, you can get other monsters. Yep. But look, Female Warriors doesn't give it. Trollkind you can get from Chimera, a new DLC creature. Skin Wolves Armored. That's weird, but fine. Trolls, Redmaw, Trolls, Skin Wolves, Trolls, Chimera, Norsca Ice Wolves. So, it's, if you want to have this currency, you do need a lot of trolls. Of course you can build, like I said, chimeras. That will give you as well. And you want to have the troll kind. You want to have it because it's currency you need. The old blessing system, favor, whatever, it's nicely reworked because now you build different type. You don't have to raise a settlement. No, you build yourself an altar. So you don't have to choose between, oh, I need to have a settlement or I need to raise it. Often I was just raising and then occupying anyway. But now you can have an altar that does have a usage, that does do something. Also, there is a spoils. Now, if you play Norsca and you want to have occupy a settlement that doesn't belong to Norsca, it does have a cost. So it pretty much suggests you that those settlements that are not Norscans, you can easily build those altars because it doesn't cost you the spoils to build an altar and still like occupy the major settlements for money and stuff. It's easier, and I feel the biggest winner is absolutely Trog. Because Trog campaign is simplified. It should be suggested to do. If you never played Norsca, you should absolutely play Trog. It should be suggested because it's simplified. They simplified Trog campaign a little bit by this troll kind mechanic and this Troll King's domination. Because previously, when you have a minor settlement, you were building this, perhaps this, and maybe a military building or resources. Like, I built this, but I did wrong. I should have this. Yeah, it does give me a little bit more money, but this also gives me Troll King's Dominion and gives me money and Troll Kind. But also, this gives me money, use that troll kind that you can have from this building, and generate spoils. So you want to have as many as possible. Even if you lose some money, and I know I did it wrong, but it's fine. I wasn't sure I'm gonna keep this settlement, so I didn't want to rebuild it. But I should absolutely demolish this, and for a little bit of money, sacrifice it to get this. Damn, even resources may not be worth that much. So what it tells me, that is super fucking simple, because, hey, oh, what to build? Bam, bam, boom, 2 slots done. And third slot you can have this, or resources, or port, which is still good. To be honest, port now is not that good, but you have to build it, because port was great, but look, 260. While this give me 297. So money-wise, port is not the best option. That was a nerf for Norsca for sure. And oh, what the army builds? Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Oh, trolls. Oh shit, more trolls. Oh, more trolls. And then I started to go for Femirs, because why not? And I started to have vassals, because yeah, Norsca is also easy with vassals. So Krog is absolutely MVP in terms of simpleness and friendliness to new players. As for the Wulfric, yeah, it gave him a new shiny mechanic that is awesome. I love the Wulfric mechanic, where you can just pretty much set sail and land whatever the F you want if you see the port. Seafang mechanic, I love it, because it gives you flexibility of wherever you want to be, teleportation. But you don't have to start campaign where the games tell you. No, you can literally go wherever you want. That's awesome. And that's awesome. As for the sail, you get a new mechanic, more or less new mechanic, not the monster. The monster is nicely reworked, but you get access to manipulations. And you can do some shenanigans like a Zinj alike. And sail, it does have different options. It's a freshness that Norsca really needed, and yeah, especially that you start a different location. What I hated about Norsca is that it starts in Norsca. Sail the Fateless, and it was the same with Wulfric and Trog. I hated that. Now with Wulfric, you can start whatever the hell you want, and that's great because you can start. It's probably the best campaign for wackiness, because you can start in different spots. You can start in Norsca and claim like Trog to get him. You can start wherever, because that's where you start with the Seafang. Of course, you're gonna get quests that gonna force you to go back, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trog is stationary. Yeah, you can't really move with Trog, but like I said, it's meant to be simple. And the most complicated is here. Sail the Fateless is definitely the most complicated from all three, and it's definitely for the advanced players in terms of Norsca, because you do need to have an idea what to do here, because you start in a pickle. If you start fighting and you want to go for Norsca, you do need to handle Chaos Dwarves. I bribed Chaos Dwarves immediately, and it's only because I saw CA dev playing the game, and they out of nowhere declare war. So I expected that, and I prevented. And from that, I just conquered Norsca and drowned it there like 100 turns, because not Norsca, the Grand Cafe. In Grand Cafe, you can drown so many turns. I hate Grand Cafe, and as long this area of a map won't be open, which should be, seriously, they should open this area of a map since they are going to add new stuff, and just swap some legendary lords just to expand the map to make it less crowded. And yeah, so I hate Grand Cafe. But Sail, with all the Jesus Christ. With all the manipulations and different as a lord, because he's a wizard, he's not a fighter. He's quite squishy at the start. But later on, 1300. For a wizard, I mean, stats are meh, but 1300k weapon strength is sick. It is sick. And you can do so much crazy stuff. Yeah, I got a couple of vassals. It's not so crazy of Slaanesh. And I am able to, you can do so much craziness because you can swap stuff, do stuff. It's really fun. But it does require you some understanding of a game, which new player cannot handle. So the level gap here, it's like the Nakari with the Slaanesh, requires you the most, like knowledge and skill compared to other two. And Sail is the same for Norsca. In terms of High Elves, I feel like Aislinn is quite simple. You just need to understand how to get one currency, second currency, and understand the limitation of buildings. That's it. That's pretty much it. And then you can ship across the world and do whatever you want, because pretty much that's it. You do whatever you want in the Aislinn campaign. And here, like I said, the skill level here is needed the most compared to the other two, but it offers you quite a lot of freshness that Norsca didn't have. What we got? Plenty of new creatures, plenty of variety, plenty of do whatever you want, and each campaign can look differently because you can say like, okay, I want to befriend Grand Cafe now, so I'm gonna go this way and befriend Grand Cafe with some manipulation and just bribing them. Absolutely possible. Unfortunately, we cannot go this way, which is pissing me off. There should be... Yeah, there are cliffs here. There should be like a way to get it to the sea here, and even this part of map, like I would pretty much give a line of settlements here. Just whatever, really. AI, put it AI. But it would make this location more threatened. So it's not like, oh, if I have this secure, I can just go here. Nothing attacks me. I hate those super safe locations because nothing can get it. There should be some danger here overall. I love that alongside Sail the Fateless, CE expanded this map. We got expanded map because, yeah, we got like this area, Dark Tower, Broken Mount. We got this extra. So if they could now, with every legendary lord, expand the map a little bit, that would be great, because we need to spread it. And I said it too many times, so I'll shut up about it. And Sail the Fateless also offer you, he's a wizard, but he also, in terms of building army, you can have cavalry army, or you can go for some different stuff. I went for here, for Cursed Athens. But what's so cool? You can recruit the monsters you get from hunts now, and you get improvements to those monsters, and there is plenty of those hunts you do. I didn't do them because whenever I tried, there was a bug that you had a point, and you click it, you send to attack. It was like a marker for quest battle, and AI suddenly withdraw the army, so you couldn't do the hunts. And since that, I didn't bother. But absolutely, I like to see an army that will have monsters. Whew. Outside of that, just a day ago, I saw. Hold on, I saw somebody with an awesome army full of, Chaos Warriors, but they were cranked to weapon melee attack 250 something. Yes, and it wasn't with cheats. It was plenty of altars, which I fucking have 0. And I should have, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to fill it. Where the altar? Jesus, these are the altars. What the fuck? Yeah, but I need the one. I think I choose all the magic ones. But there are the altars where... Oh, there it is, okay. So you improve melee defense for Chaos Warriors and Chaos Spawns and melee attack. It's 1 per altar. So he had around 200 altars. But it's possible. So you can build an abomination army. So crazy. You don't even have to have a 200 altars. Fuck. Give it 100. A melee attack, 120, 40, something like that. It's already insanity. Because that also gives them melee defense. So they're gonna have like 140 melee defense. Which means in combat, they are gonna be really, really tough. It wouldn't happen before. Before, the Norsca was pretty much flat out. You were building trolls with Trog, and with Wolfric you were building mammoths. Now you have variety in infantry, monsters. You can build some crazy wacky shit with monsters from Monster Hunt, from the Monsters Arcanum, and you can build something crazy with those altars. That is just out of nowhere. You can buff the Chaos Spawns as well. And you also make it free, because you reduce the upkeep. So yeah, wonderful. And I love this kind of wackiness. I wanted to build this army, but I was focused about different things. I was focused about literally building different things, because I'm trying to focus my gameplay on recording. And I feel like Norsca has received something that they needed. Norsca now feels full-fledged faction that is, on par from multiple factions. Norsca was always like a minor DLC. It felt just rushed and never developed, really developed. Now it feels like faction, real faction, not a joke faction that nobody plays, because Norsca campaign finished is probably still one of the least percentage wise campaigns completed for players in like Steam achievements or something like that. Because Norsca was, Norsca felt like Ogre Kingdom a little bit, but Ogre Kingdom got the second update much faster than the Norsca. Much faster. But now, Norsca is absolutely there. And it feels great, because each lord offers different playstyle, and it's just pure fun. So, I would say, as a conclusion, this. As a conclusion, I feel that this DLC is worth much more than some other DLCs. Much, much more. Because it changed two factions drastically. It changed two factions so much that they offer now different playstyles, they offer different campaigns, they offer fun for newer player and challenge for the better players, for the more experience, and also improve high elves that give them variety they needed. So they made high elves playable much more. Because like I said before, high elves played all the same, more or less. Now, you can have options, you can experiment, you can do stuff that you couldn't before. And I feel like this DLC, and please don't get the wrong ideas, but I feel like it's worth to do 2 DLCs at least, because it's packed with so much improvement. And yes, it sounds ridiculous, I know, and next time CA will do something like that. Hey, Snake said it's worth 2 DLCs, so we're gonna charge you a double price. Hey, extra for you, Snake. Double the price. No. But what I want to say is that the wait we had for this DLC is absolutely understandable, because there is a lot of work put in here that changed so much, and it definitely needed time. So now I can easily say it was worth to wait, because we got a very good and awesome quality product. And I'd say it's better that we had for previous 2 DLCs. It's better than previous 2 DLCs. It beats 2 previous DLCs because it changed much more. And it resurrect dead factions too. Because I consider Slaanesh to be dead as well. Not many people played. And it was always like, electrocuted balls. Because Nakari in Ulf won. Now it's different. So yeah, that's the conclusion. Absolutely worth it. If you haven't bought it yet, shame on you. You should have it because it does improve. No, it's not shame on you. But if you want to have fun, this DLC will absolutely guarantee it. I mean, guarantee is a strong word, because maybe you don't like this game, I don't know. But the quality and the variety is here. So it's worth every penny for this DLC. Of course, it's gonna be on sale soon, so it's even better, because it's been a while. It's gonna maybe not right away, but it definitely gonna hit sale eventually. If you have a problem with money, it's fine. But if you have a problem with money, and you do value your money more, because like me, I'm broke, I'm disabled, I have no income besides some government assistance that is not much, and YouTube. And buying DLCs is big deal for me. And I was shattered with the shadow of change. But here, I feel like, yeah, it gave me so much to do. It was absolutely worth it. So if you value your money, Tides of Torment DLC. Of course, if you have different other DLCs complementary to this, Tides of Torment will offer a lot. And that's it. I'm gonna wrap it here. I'm sorry for this being that long, but I had to explain it everything. And if you agree, awesome. Thank you if you lasted that long. But if you disagree, tell me, what did I evaluate wrong? Because I want to know. Let's start a discussion, because I might be on drugs. thinking that this is okay. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But if you agree with me, please, just also shout out. Hey, Snake, you're right. I agree. It's awesome. That would be great because I like to sometimes, from time to time, hear that somebody agrees with me. It does improve the mood, right? Also, if you can, please hit that subscribe. You can help me a lot. I do cover Total War Warhammer mostly from time to time. Unfortunately, I do cover Dying Light or Resident Evil because I do like those games and I do need variety to not get crazy because I'm at home all the time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Take care and bye bye.